Well, thank you for joining us again here on Catworld TV. We're joined on the sofa today by our very special guest, Kevin Dean, who's a composer, producer and music publisher. His latest work is Mogology, music for cats and cat lovers. Now, Mogology, that's not really a word I'm very familiar with. How did that start off?
Well, in 1995, I produced an album called Spirit of the Cat, which didn't feature much cats at all. There was some meowing, no purring, and it was a success. But it wasn't really an extreme cat product. And all these years on, I wrote another piece of music in 2003 called Purrs in Heaven for my cat Tigger, who died. And it wasn't written with any commercial intentions at all. Just a piece of music that came out of me. It was quite sort of, changes your life, 16 years with a cat. Sad piece of music, composed it, and the idea was to give this CD to people who have had cats, have lost them, died. Bit of comfort for you, sad piece of music. Anyway, a lady called Marilyn Edwards heard this piece of music, and Marilyn is an author of a series of cat books on cat behaviour and sort of stories about her cats, etc. Fantastic series of books, Cats of Moon Cottage, Cats on Hutton Roof, the Coach House Cats, and she said to me, "You've got to release this music commercially." I said, "No, it's just purely for, as I said, just a sort of a real piece come out of me, not for commercial use." But then I started thinking about it and I thought, well, yes, because having read her first book, I wrote another piece of music called Otto and Septi's Tune for her cats, and then the whole thing sort of snowballed. It was like another piece come along for another cat. Before you knew it, I had 10 tracks. And that's how the album came about, even before adding any purring or meowing on. And the term Mogology I actually made up years ago. And what is Mogology? It's basically an expression to celebrate the appreciation, the existence and the expression of cats, Mogology. So when this album was finished, these 10 tracks, I thought, well, Mogology, music for cats and cat lovers. So yeah, the original inspiration was, being a cat lover, to start off with, just doing a track anyway, and then being inspired by these books and writing more tracks around it. So yeah, that was the initial inspiration.
So have cats inspired you throughout your life then?
I've always been totally fascinated by cats and their behaviour, and I just sit for hours watching them, doing their things, washing, playing. I can just sit there and look at them all the while. So yes, I'm a big cat lover. I've always had cats since I was a child, and I've got 3 at the moment. My 3 cats are a funny bunch of girls. I mean, they're absolutely beautiful, but the story behind how I got those is I got this cottage in Suffolk, in the countryside, and so I've had cats before, and Tigger died where I was before, and I thought, I'll wait till I get this new place and get new cats. I went to the cat shelter, and the intention was to go there and find cats that really were not wanted, in the way of, families going and picking the, sweet, pretty kittens. And I said that one mum, I wanted cats that were there for a long time, and there were 2 overweight girls, and their names were Cheeky and Chops, which, sums it up really. They weren't abused, but they'd been taken back there, not wanted, then wanted again. The couple split up and they smelt of nicotine, cigarettes. They've been there for 8 months. Beautiful, but sadness in their eyes, real sadness in their eyes. So straight away I said, that's it, that's them. So I visit them 3 or 4 times a week, for about 4 months before I actually moved into the Pixie Cottage. And of course, going to visit the cats, these 2 girls, which I renamed the Moon Sisters, Abby Moon, as in A-B-B-E-Y, and Angel Moon, the Moon Sisters. Visiting them, say, several times a week, I would see other cats. And there's one particular cat, again, had been there for 8 months, sweet cat, but she was so nervous, a stray, she just hid up. So people have gone visit her to pick a cat, and she's gone. Don't want her, she's not very friendly. So again, I was getting used to this little Trixie, her name was. And I said to Elaine, the lady who ran the shelter, I said, I can't leave Trixie. I'll have to have her as well. She went, okay. So I renamed her Petal Rose. And so all 3. So I mean, Petal Rose chases the Moon Sisters around the cottage. She's a little cat, little micro cat. She's gorgeous. She was apparently found living with a fox when she was a stray cat. And she actually walks like a fox, I think. But she's so friendly and affectionate. and but all three of them get on really well. Trio of cats there. I'm not sure who's the boss. I think they sort of vary, but they do get on. They've turned into real country cats. They bring back you know, moles and rabbits and, you know, these poor rodents, but they love it out in the countryside and in the fields. So I think, you know, for me to get those cats that were, I mean, they could be there still now if I hadn't had them. People just don't want them. So I was pleased to give those a home, and of course made them stars. You know, they've been in all the magazines. They've been, you know, they've been written about in a book, Marilyn's book, The Coach House Cats. They're on the CD, purring and meowing, and they've got, you know, good voices. And I think, I mean, the bottom line really, as far as releasing records is concerned, I only release records about subjects that I'm actually passionate about, and hence passion for cats. So it is nice to do something. You've got to find that balance of finding something that's going to be commercial and something you're actually interested in yourself, rather than just, you know, so it's often like not composing a piece. It's almost, it just flows out of you. So yeah, always been a cat lover.
So were your own cats featured on the album?
Yeah, there are lots of cats featured on the album. So as I say, you've got these 10 tracks, and then having to record for almost a year, compiling different cats around catteries and friends' houses, and of course my own cats as well. So there's loads on there, and it took quite a long time to get them to perform really well. I mean, I think perform is the wrong word, but just catch them at the right time to make the right noises, and, you know, tea time, and wanting to go outside and things like that. So have the microphone set. Recording my cats was good because obviously my own house, my own cottage, and I can do it in my own time. But going to places like the catteries, the cat shelters, you have to work around their time and things. And in the end, I had, I would say, probably about, I don't know, almost 2 hours worth of cat vocal expressions, which I had to sit through. And it literally was like, you know, the X Factor. I mean, I was the Simon Cowell, you know, when he sits there and auditions all the singers. I was going through these cats and thinking, no, and oh, good tone, I have that one. Making a note of, you know, whereabouts on the rough footage it was, and then overdubbing it onto the music and carefully selecting the right expressions for the cats and getting them so they're in tune, and which I never put in tune personally. They were just naturally in tune, which is quite bizarre. You know, like the frequency was spot on. So yeah, my 3 cats: Angel Moon, Abby Moon, the Moon Sisters, and Petal Rose. They're all on there amongst other cats. Yeah.
So when was the CD released?
CD was released in January 2006, and I was in Spain on the release date. And it's always quite nerve-wracking because, you know, it's an actual definite date, and they can suddenly be in the shops on that day, available on all, you know, the retailers around the world, and it's up to me, depends on my own publisher, to do the promotion, to arrange the radio interviews, all the press and everything, press releases to be sent out and things. And yeah, earlier on this year, and I think it's almost a year now, and I'm really pleased how it's gone. And it just snowballed. I think 10 years ago, you put the word Mogology into one of the internet search engines, you'd get nothing come up. It'd probably say, did you mean something else? But you put Mogology in now, and loads of stuff on there. Type into Google, Mogology. So I'm quite proud of the fact, A, I made the word up, and the CD's just sort of taken off.
So you've inspired the word Mogology across the world then? Well,
it's just, yeah, people got used to the word, and I've heard it mentioned in various contexts, and I sometimes email people and say, what is Mogology? What are you talking about? And they say, oh, it's a cat. Some guy on one of the websites was saying that he's a mogologist. He said he studies Mogology, and I said, yeah, quite bizarre. It's how it goes. But I think the word snowball is the right word. It just, you know, set it go, and and suddenly it's like all around the world.
So that's the response from humans. Has it been equally well received by cats?
Well, I think cats are aware of it because, firstly, my cats were in the studio when I recorded the music and compiled the album and edited it and produced the whole thing. So I'd often look at their reaction and to see how they reacted to certain sounds.